Man, oh man, Breland, it's so good to see you.
Likewise, man.
It's we got to hang out together in Nashville in March, and we were in this little tiny hockey suite. I mean, it was like the whole time the line to get to talk to Breland was like super long. Everyone's outside and stuff.
It's
and
exaggerating.
It was no, it was true. And the craziest thing was they came by with all these giant desserts, and I'm like, I don't want dessert. I want to talk to Breland because your smile is so infectious. Like your energy. There's a vibe about you that's completely different.
Shout out my dentist, orthodontist.
Yeah. You were graced with great teeth, let me tell you. Man, you just have that vibe that makes everybody feel good. I guess I better come up here just in case.
Come on, man.
And so I just love the fact that you're here. Like I get goosebumps when I think about the show that we've been trying to get you here for so long. We've been working on this show, I think, since March when we were hanging out together. We talked about it.
Yeah.
And then we talked to the record rep, and Mark is his name, and he's like, okay, we'll get it done. Don't worry, I promise you. And then he came to town. Then he had to do a private thing. And I'm like, we got to get him back. And he's like, I'm coming back. So we've been working on this since March, and here we are. It was supposed to be in August, but then Shania Twain said, hey, why don't you come party with me? And so, we took a backseat to Shania Twain. It's okay. It's all right. But here he is finally, and I'm so excited you are finally here.
Yeah, man, it's great to be here.
It's awesome. One thing that I love about you as a songwriter, you come like that song. I mean, just gets you going. It's heart pumping. It's right. I know you did a thing in 2020 when COVID was happening. You were like the BRELAND Finish the Lyric Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool. I don't know if a lot of people saw that. And I thought about that at the time. I'm like, man, for songwriters, this is an opportunity that's really cool for you to be able to jump in and help somebody. And I like to use American Idol or The Voice, for up-and-coming artists because a lot of, if it's just me, I don't know the first thing about the record business and how to get started. I thought it was really cool from your angle coming in to help. And then Chevy helped you during the CMAs.
Yeah. We had a chance to kind of do a couple campaigns. So one of the songs was my song In the Woods, which features Chase Rice and Lauren Elena. And their verses were written by the winners of this contest.
Okay.
And so it really was like the first cut that either of these writers had ever had. And, coming up as a songwriter myself, I was told for years that I wouldn't be able to be an artist, that I didn't have what it takes to be able to do it. And, I had to kind of dig deep to believe in myself enough to even put myself out there. But I know firsthand how difficult it is for songwriters. There's so many avenues, I think, for artists nowadays. I mean, you could be an artist and you could just do covers of other people's songs on TikTok and you'll be fine. But it's tougher for songwriters, because your whole career is built on other people liking your songs and wanting to record them and put them out.
Do you like being a songwriter better than a performer?
I think they're two different, I wear
worlds.
different hats,
Right.
Yeah, they're two different worlds. I love being able to get into a studio and come up with something, but it's also really powerful when you can then take that moment and share it with other people.
I've always enjoyed the songwriting side, and I wish I had that talent because I just don't. But it would like to think of something, put it on a pencil on a piece of paper, and then next thing you know, you have a hit. And you've done it so many times. I mean, My Truck, hello, Sam Hunt. It's like people didn't hear that at first, but when they did, they found you in a certain way, and everybody knew that song. So it was like when that collaboration came together, how was that working with Sam?
Yeah, I mean, Sam's a really good buddy of mine, and when that was my first time coming to Nashville was to work on the My Truck remix with him, and we ended up getting it done, but he just wanted to hang out and kind of get to know me a little bit first, and so we kicked it for like 3 days, wrote a bunch of other songs. He introduced me to all of his friends, and so my friend group in Nashville still to this day is Sam Hunt's friend group.
That's crazy. That's
so
awesome.
He's someone that I definitely admire, and he helped put me on the map by hopping on that song.
Was one of those guys Keith Urban in that fan group? Because you branched out with him.
Yeah, Keith is one. He wasn't a part of that friend group, but we've got our own little friend group as well. Keith reached out to me kind of during the pandemic and invited me to come work with him, and it was a funny thing too, because I'm home. At the time I was living in Atlanta, and I was just kind of like waiting for something to happen, and I get this text that says, yo, with like 6 O's, yo, DB, this is Keith, and then in parentheses, as in Urban. And I was like, I don't know, man, it just doesn't sound like it would actually be him, Yeah. And so he texted me, and I was able to confirm that it was him. He was like, I'll give you a call in a little bit. And it's like probably 9 in the morning, and I was like, oh, great, And he calls me at like 8 p.m. So I waited like 11 hours for him to hit me back. I was like, come on, man. And he was like, you know, I love what you're doing. I love the fusion of genres. It's something that I've been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got this album that I'm working on. I thought it was done, but I think I have one more song missing, and I think we should make it together. And he was like, let me know when you'll be in Nashville next. I'll be there tomorrow morning, you know?
It's only a 4-hour drive.
I'll be there promptly, you know? I got to his house at 8 a.m. He wasn't even ready for me. I'd wait like 2 hours.
Nicole opened the door.
Yeah,
Hi, good morning.
They were like, I thought you were going to be here closer to maybe noon. I was like, I'm so excited. So, you know, I think after that trip, I was like, okay, I really need to move to Nashville. Because at that point, I was like, man, both of the times that I've come here, I've ended up making some really fun stuff and some really great connections.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to stop just for a quick second, I think it's funny how today's world is like, this isn't really Keith Urban. And you're like, I'm going to show up tomorrow morning. Can you imagine if it wasn't really, and then you showed up, and they'd be like, hey, man, Breland's at the house.
Yeah,
what's going on, right?
I could have got trafficked.
Right.
Quick, you know?
I have that all the time. And I'll be honest with you guys. When I do my texting contest during the days, it's really me texting you back. Some people are like, no, it's not real. I'm not answering that question. I'm like, it's me.
Sometimes it's really Keith. You know?
The world's changed. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid, what was your favorite music?
Man, I grew up on a lot of gospel music. My parents are both ministers. They met in the gospel choir. And, you know, all of my earliest memories are singing in church and singing, you know, with my family in the house.
Yeah. I grew up with an older brother, and the 70s, he loved the 70s. And, I mean, who did?
Was this in the 70s?
Well, yeah, I was only like 6.
That's like you say, like he loves the 70s, yeah. Like it's like right now. You know?
But now I find myself, and I hear a song, and it takes me back to my childhood when my big brother was like, hey, listen to the song. You're going to remember this someday. And I love that. And I know that you're a huge fan of Stevie Wonder.
Definitely.
I mean, one of my favorite all-time songs, you know, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. It's like, if that don't get you moving, I don't know what will, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, for him as a blind dude to be able to paint these vivid images in these songs is just unbelievable.
It's incredible.
I mean, he's a multi-talent, one of the illest keys players, harmonica players, drummers secretly too.
Have you performed with him?
I have not. But, you know, hopefully we
someday
get a chance to do it. You know?
That'd be awesome. I mean, you're working with everybody. Shania, Keith, Sam. I'm sure that's coming up on the list. Is there anybody that you haven't done yet that you're like, man, I got to work with like Morgan? I mean, I'm just using a lot of people right now. At least I'm like, I want to work with Morgan Wallen. I want to write stuff with him. Him and Thomas just teamed up together. Or Stapleton. There's a hot new thing. You are that guy that can just gel and fit in anywhere. Is there anybody specific you want?
Yeah, I think me and Casey Musgraves would make something pretty cool.
Oh, yes.
Haven't really had a chance. There's
like
a studio audience in here.
I was gonna say, let me just call her up, but I don't have her number. So
there's a bunch of people though. I think, you know, I've had a chance to write with a lot of people that I didn't think I would have a chance to write with, but there's still so many more that I haven't gotten to work with yet. So hopefully next year and in the coming years, I'll get some more opportunities.
That's amazing. I have to give you praise because Praise the Lord, one of my favorite songs of all time.
Oh, thanks.
If that song does not get you going, you better go to the doctor and check your heart because something's wrong with you. Because it was last year at the ACMs, we were there, and I have to admit, I was nominated for DJ of the Year.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to brag. Trust me, I'm not. But it was a cool moment, and we got these really good seats on the floor, and I was so excited because you were going to be at the show. And they're like, he's going to play Praise the Lord with Thomas Rhett. And I'm like, yes, I'm excited. I'm right here. And then all of a sudden, you're at the back of the arena at the roof.
I know.
And
they
I
had
was
us
like,
on the highest level.
What the hell?
I know.
It was like no one could see you.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that because I kept thinking, well, he's up there somewhere, and I'm gonna. So I just started. Yeah,
I was in the nosebleed.
So I just started dancing. I was dancing like mad, and I was sitting right in front of Dick Clark's wife because I used to work with Dick Clark years ago.
Yeah.
And she was laughing at me, cracking up. And then one of my other buddies in radio was taking video of me dancing because everyone's like, what is this guy freaking out about? And I'm like, have you not heard this song? It's like the greatest thing ever. If that doesn't get you moving, I don't know what will. Y'all need to get the hell out of the building. So, yeah, so it was awesome. So thank you for that, Joy, 5 minutes because that was amazing, even though I didn't get to see you.
It's all good, man. I'm happy to have been able to deliver that experience.
Good. Well, I'm glad. Ladies and gentlemen, BRELAND.